Hey guys, Thomas here, and today we're at the Military International Drone Racing Tournament. Basically what we've got here is 20 different military teams from all around the world that are competing here in drone racing. This is a legitimate drone racing military team, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'm Zakariah Martin Taylor. I'm currently posted to the 3rd Combat Engineer Regiment in Townsville, but I'm on the Australian Army Drone Racing team, and I'm actually the team captain. The Australian Army Drone Racing team started up in January last year, and we've been racing in events ever since then. I was already doing drone racing outside with Newcastle, FPV. I got into it because I like the technical aspect of it, and building your own drone and having it fly, race and compete is something else. It's completely different to any other sport. The Australian Army Drone Racing team is sponsored by Impulse RC. So I use the Helix frame with the ZX5. It's an excellent frame. I currently have about 9 of those that I have that I bring to events, swapping those out. I use some T-motors just because they're so reliable. And I'm currently using some Cadex cameras, the SDR2s, and just the normal VTX and flight controller for Helix. So my flying handle is Wedge, after Wedge and Silly's from Star Wars, because I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I've got a room in my house that's got about, I'd say about $10,000 of Star Wars memorabilia, and the garage full of drones. So Wedge it is.
I'm James Payne. My pilot name is Paynefull FPV because it is quite painful watching me sometimes. I'm a Royal Navy engineer working on the Wildcat in Somerset, but I live near London. So really funny story actually. My girlfriend bought me a toy drone from Argos and I broke it. And I was like, okay, I can fix this because I can fix helicopters. And I went on the internet and I was like, I don't want to fix this. I want to build myself a racing drone. And so I did. And I showed my mates and they were like, okay, we want to build one too. And since then I've had a group of mates and now I've met the army to come out here.
So my name's Kevin McKenzie and I am a defence civilian. So I work within a unit in New Zealand called DLEM. In charge of equipment management and logistics. I've been with Defence for about 1.5 years, but I've been flying mini quads for probably 2.5. So when I saw this opportunity pop up, I was right in. I originally got into flying mini quads probably about 2.5 years ago, and it was a guy I was working with at the time, and he had built one. It was a real crude one, as you can imagine, 2.5 years ago. And I thought, yeah, I got to get in on that, and I started watching all the YouTube videos of the races, and I think I even remember watching some BMSWEB and some Sharpoo and stuff like that, and just got the bug from there. So my pilot handle is KUATO FPV, spelled KUATO, and it's often mispronounced as KUATO, but basically when I first started flying I was like, oh, it looks like everyone has a call sign and I need to get one. So my favourite movie is Total Recall, and there's a little chest burst character on there called KUATO, and I thought, yeah, that's me. I love that guy.
Well, here we are, day number 3 of the 2018 Inaugural Military International Drone Racing Tournament. Sydney, Australia. We're at the Victoria Barracks, and we're prepared for a big day. It's Championship Saturday, and we have our field of 16, or top 16, down from our field of 21 pilots. Not the most aggressive cut, but we've now trimmed our field and getting ready for a double elimination bracket to decide who's going to be our first ever Military International Drone Racing Tournament individual champion. Of course, our team champions. We have a couple teams here that are just doing baller. Obviously, the host team, the Australian Army drone racing team, they I think have qualifiers 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th. They're all over the board. We also have just down the road New Zealand. They have a whole bunch in the top 10 as well. I think those are the 2 teams to watch here on team points. And then individuals, we got X-Tech at the top of the board. He has about a 1.5 second per lap lead over the rest of the field on qualifying times, but really it's going to be anyone's game, especially when we change the format from racing against that clock into heads-up racing in this double elimination bracket of 16, which we're a huge fan of. What's been really surprising has been the caliber of pilots here at this event. Now, one of the big things that a lot of misconceptions as it now is, we expected people, they've never touched a drone before, this is their first time flying, and they're just participating in a UAV conference and competition, but it's been farther from that. I mean, I remember back to 2017 in America, the inaugural Collegiate Drone Racing Championship. We thought the same thing. A drone racing club, they're going to get a couple drones and try it, and the lap times are not going to be comparable. It's, again, a misconception. These pilots are fast, they're flying consistent, and at any major international race, these guys are going to be in the top 25, top 30. They'd be making that cut, especially our top 10 here at this tournament. Seeing a lot of consistency. We're seeing a lot of pilots that would be all doing the same things that I'd call pro pilot things that we expect, from having backup quads, lots of batteries on charge. But what's really cool to see, because most of these teams are part of an organization within their military disciplines, they roll up and they all have identical kits. In North America, it kind of means something else than what it means here. Here, a kit is all your stuff, in essence, but back home, like your toolbox. Like, I just walked by a trunk there, and there are 6 identical toolboxes with anything you need: extra VTXs, extra cameras, lenses, tools. They're pitting together as a team. You're really seeing that team spirit, that camaraderie, and again, fast racing. So fortunately, the weather is going to be clear for the morning into the afternoon. We'll have some local racers as well, but we're really excited to crown our first ever champion. The Governor General will be coming in to present the trophies to the individual and team racing champions, which is a big get. That is like the second in charge of the entire country. Unless you're from Britain, it's the #1 guy, but if you're from Australia, he's the #2 guy. Big deal to have the Governor General to come out to this event. It's really putting drone racing on the map, and it's a great message that is being shared. There's already talk to involving drone racing in the Invictus Games, which is also happening this weekend as well. The Invictus Games is a competition kind of like the Paralympics, involving soldiers that have been wounded in combat, and they compete in this Invictus Games, which is a project by Prince Harry, who's also in town this weekend. And this is a great fit. But with these pilots, even though we have one guy who's part of industry, all of our top 16 we're going to be featuring here today are active military. This is something that they're doing in some of their daily commands, but when it comes to racing, these guys are baller, and it's going to be a great day. Thanks for checking it out, the 2018 Military International Drone Racing Tournament.
Okay, so this is the final day of the Military International Drone Racing Tournament. Yesterday we had the top 16 qualify. Today they'll be going through double eliminations leading into the finals for the military drone race. I believe the cadets will also be doing some demonstrations, some stuff with drone technologies. And then, yeah, we'll just see how the rest of the day goes. Hopefully I get some time to do some demos and get some cool video.
So here today we have 2017 World Champ BMS Thomas going to do a demonstration. He was racing with us yesterday, doing some demonstration runs. So today we've seen an 18 and change as the fastest lap on the track. That is by our military pilots. Now we're going to see what a world champ can get done on the exact same course. Top time in qualifying was a 55 and change with one of our pilots from industry. BMS Thomas did 3 laps in 38 seconds as his personal best. Let's see when we get done here on a Saturday morning. Good luck, BMS Thomas. Course is yours when you take off. Smooth start on our line. Let's get set to go green. We had a little bit of an issue, of course, back at the start there. I was in a hurry to get those props on, and you can see they're all different colors. And one was on backwards. Look at that line right there through that power loop section. Around we go. Opening lap, 17.3 to start things off. So including his pretty much his takeoff, that's already exceeded some of the times that we've seen. Look at that blur. If you blink, you're going to miss them. Corkscrew section on to lap 3. That's a 14.8 on lap number 2. So far, 32 seconds to get 2 laps recorded. And another 14.7, so getting sequentially faster. That's 3 laps in 46.9 seconds on his 3 laps. You seen coming in cold here this morning. 14.134 on lap 4. Will he break the 14-second mark here on lap number 5? It's going to be close. That'll be a 13.954, making the gate a little wider as well. Getting it done. That is 5 laps in 1:15. That is a smoke and run right there for BMS Thomas. And he is available for recruitment in another year or so.
Welcome to Victoria Barracks in Sydney, the birthplace of the Australian Army. We're pretty stoked to be here for hosting the Military International Drone Racing Tournament, the first in the world for a military drone racing competition. We've got some great competitors here from international, from the UK, from New Zealand and from Thailand, and domestically we've got teams from the Australian Army, the Air Force, our Defence Science and Technology Group, and our Australian Army Cadets. It's pretty exciting. Behind me you can see the action of the drone racing tournament itself. We're paired with the MAAA and FPVR.org to help run this event, and we're running it like a normal drone racing competition. So we had practice day yesterday, we've got heats today and qualifications, and then tomorrow we'll drop off the slowest and take the top 16 through to an elimination shootout, all to decide who's the fastest military drone racer, who is the best team, and we've got a couple of smaller competitions going as well. So Australian inter-service, so it's it's Army versus Air Force. We have an Anzac Challenge, Australia versus New Zealand, and we've got a Ashes Challenge as well. We've got Australia versus the UK. Pretty exciting. Great to have you on board supporting Thomas. He's a big fan of ours, we're a big fan of his. He's a great ambassador for the sport and for this technology sector and for the youth of Australia, and that's why we're doing it. We're really doing this to engage with the youth of Australia. We started by just supporting the Australian Army soldier. We knew that there were drone racers around the country, and just like we do with soldiers who play rugby or cricket, 10-pin bowling, golf, we bring them together as an Australian Army team. We've done the same with drone racing. We want to support those soldiers, but the immediate benefit out of that was engaging with the drone racing community. We know that there are smart kids, smart young people out there that are doing this as a sport. They're self-teaching themselves a range of technical skills that we would really love to see in the Australian Defence Force and Australian defence industry, and we want to have that conversation with those people. If you like racing drones, if you like building drones, then Army is a great conversation to have a career conversation with, because you can fly full-time, you can join up as a UAS operator and fly the Shadow 365 days a year. You could fly part-time with our tactical systems, so you could be in the infantry, in the cavalry, and fly systems like the Wasp and the Black Hornet. Or you could join any technical trade, be a vehicle mechanic, be an electronics technician, be a geo technician, and maybe just fly for fun and do drone racing on the weekends, or when we do our outreach with National Science Week, with Questacon, with Airshow, getting around to high schools and getting around to open days, and just have a bit of fun with it as well, because we'll support you in that. It's a pretty cool sport, pretty cool to be tied in with you guys and everything that you're for, and pretty excited in this sunshine to be racing hard and seeing who's going to be the champ.
So the pilot's going to be full Payne from the UK RNAF. He's going to be flying Major Jackal Squad, representing the UK British Army. Army helping out Air Force. Teamwork makes the dream work a reality. And we're going to try and get a pilot from the UK into our grand final. Now here's what's really interesting. Secom is on the same team as Major Jackal. And Major Jackal just helped out Full Payne, who's kind of on a competing team to get in, but that's just camaraderie. Either patriotism or camaraderie. Regardless, this is the semifinal, the consolation bracket. Top two going to our grand final versus X-Tech and KUATO. Will it be Wedge? Will it be Jenko? Will it be Full Payne with a borrowed quad? Or will it be Secom? The next 90 seconds, we will find out. Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up. Stand by, stand by, stand by. Full Payne, do you know where the arm switches and everything is? You're good? Okay, just making sure. I've seen this happen once before, but you're good? If you're good, I'm good. Here we go. Goggles down, thumbs up. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. What a great day for a drone race here in the semifinal round of this consolation bracket. And of course, that borrowed quad not going as far as we'd like. Full Kane, first one eliminated. We're now on lap number 3. 4 seconds separating second and third. Jenko and Wedge with that breathing room. And Secom trying to get it done in this, what could be his last run of the competition. We will wish him the best of luck as we get set to bring your leader Jenko onto that final lap. White flag flying. That was a 22.7, nice and smooth. And there's some flippy floppies and some issues out on the backside. Wedge and Secom crossing over 0.08 apart in this battle for the 2-3, but it's going to be a 1-2-3 courtesy of Jenko. All three of them going low side of the tower. You just lost Secom, and now it is Wedge and Jenko, your last two with us here in race number 13, and this will be a victory lap for them as they get across the line. We'll give the win to Jenko. He's in the final 4 along with Wedge as well, which means 5th overall will be Secom. 6th overall will be Full Payne, and now we have our final 4. In our final 4, 2 from the Australian Army, Jenko and Wedge. 1 from New Zealand, that'll be KUATO, and X-Tech from Industry. Our final 4 coming up right now. You have KUATO qualifying 3rd overall from New Zealand. He's been flying smooth, and now I think consistency is going to be key here for top 3 podium. And he is representing New Zealand Defence Forces. He'll be on B6 5828. If you're watching on our DVR screen, Jenko is in the top right. That's the Australian Army guy who's running for redemption. KUATO from New Zealand, the bottom left. The bottom right-hand side is Wedge, 4th overall in qualifying, and just needs a little bit more speed this time And he is going to be in prime position for a podium. And, of course, your top qualifier, the pilot with a target on his back, is X-Tech. He'll be in the top left-hand corner of our screen. X-Tech, our top qualifier, getting the entire field by 1.5 seconds per lap, rolling into this double elimination bracket. And, of course, going through our brackets, and I believe winning all of his heats. He won his preliminary round heat, his quarterfinal round heats. He won the semifinal heats, and it is X-Tech's to win right here. All right, pilots, this is it. One run and done. Good luck. Goggles down, thumbs up. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Full send. 4 through it. This will be our tightest finish right now. X-Tech with that whole shot. He's going to go high side of the tower. Jenko right with him. Now we go low side of the tower. KUATO and Wedge third and fourth. It'll be KUATO just ahead of Wedge. But here comes your TQ. X-Tech one down. Jenko hot on his heels. This is going to be a push for the end. 0.8 of a second between first and second. Then just 0.7 of a second between third and fourth. A good first lap for all 4 pilots. Now we're going to see if the nerves calm down and the throttle picks up as we go around that corkscrew section. X-Tech with an interesting line, and that opened up a little bit of time for Jenko. But an 18-1 on the loose lap for X-Tech as he works on lap number 3. And now we're going to put KUATO and Jenko second and third through the gate on the exact same time onto that final lap to see who is on our podium in what position. Wedge is going to finish up in the number 4 spot. He's done. X-Tech is your 2018 Military International Drone Racing Tournament champion. It's not done. Here comes Jenko and KUATO. Jenko just ahead of KUATO at our gate. Jenko from the Australian Army, a reserve champion. KUATO, your second runner-up, third on our podium. And that one is in the books right there. Great finish for our field. 0.2 of a second separating first or second and third in that battle. And your top qualifier, X-Tech, representing industry with a huge win in that one to finish things up. Once again, we're going to go 4th for Wedge. We will go 3rd for KUATO, 2nd for Jenko, and X-Tech with the win here on Championship Saturday.